Okay, in this video tutorial I will show you how to set up and configure the routers. Okay, first of all, we're gonna use, when you set up a router here, you're gonna use this command. Okay, this command is based on the Cisco routers. Okay, so if a student or people use another router, for example like Juniper, the concept is the same, but the syntax may be a little bit different. Okay, so whatever I explain to you here in the rest of the video is gonna be a Cisco based command. Alright, so let me show you how to do this. You're not gonna configure this in your router. I just wanna mention it to you so you know how to configure it yourself in case you have your own hardware, or if you wanna come to school, we have the physical routers here so you can experiment or practice the labs, or maybe you can use a packet tracer in case you have the license to use. Alright, here on the interface FA0, we're gonna create an IP address, interface FA0 IP address 192.168.20x.1. You're gonna substitute this X with your port number. So just for example, you are on port number 1. So we're gonna use this interface fast Ethernet 0 IP address 192.168.201.1. The subnet mask is 255.255.0 and no shutdown. Okay, what that means is we can have this connection, which is FA0. If I create one, it's gonna create here and then go to the headquarter. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, the next comment is interface VLAN1 no IP address. Okay, since we're gonna have two VLAN in this lab exercise, we're gonna create VLAN 10 for data and VLAN 50 for the voice. So the comment is interface VLAN 10 IP address 192.168.x0.1 space 255.255.255.1. Okay, no shutdown. Okay, so this is the data VLAN. This is gonna be the gateway of this cell phone, which you're gonna install that on your host PC, okay, or on the physical PC. And the interface VLAN 50 IP address 192.168.x1. So if your port number is 1, you're gonna put 192.168.11.1. Make sure you put space here, 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. Okay. Alright, the next command is gonna be, okay, this VLAN 50 is for this IP phone. Okay, if you notice that in this scenario we are on the 11 network. Okay, voice is on the 11 network and data is on the 10 network. The 10 is for your cell phone, which is located in your physical PC, and this is the actual SIP phone. Okay, for example, you may use Cisco 7940 series, or you can use Cisco 7960 series, or you may use any other phone. Okay, and then the next thing we need to do is we set up the IP routing protocol. Okay, IP routing, router OSPF1 network 192.168.0.0 and space 0.0.255.255 and area 0. Okay, so what this means is anything that matches in the first two digits, you're gonna use anything that matches in the first two octet is gonna be routed. Okay, the ping, you're not gonna do this ping because we don't have any router set up to the headquarter. Okay. However, if we have a headquarters set up here, you can ping this address. The call can go outside of your network. Remember, this is 200 network in the headquarters. Okay, so you're not gonna type this one. Okay, but I will show you how it works here. And then you need to verify your routing table by using this command, show IP route. Okay, and copy run config. Always do this so you can save all the configuration. In case you are not familiar with Cisco basic Cisco command, I would suggest you review your networking 1 and networking 2 that you took maybe a semester ago or maybe few semester ago. Alright, so this is how you set up the routing protocol, which is OSPF that we use in this lab. Okay, in here the next thing that we're gonna do is to create a DHCP. Let me show you what's the DHCP command here. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do a DHCP, which is here, DHCP. Okay, so let me show you how to set up a DHCP. Okay, in your router. Okay, not through Windows Server 2008 or 2012 server. In reality and best practices, maybe the phone is gonna have their own, they're gonna set up their own DHCP. Okay, but since this is just for a small to medium sized business, maybe less than 200 users or phones, so we're gonna use this. We're gonna set up a DHCP through the routers, not through the Windows Server or Linux server. So the command on here that you're gonna type is config t service DHCP, and we're gonna configure DHCP for data VLAN. This is the command IP DHCP excluded 192.168.x0.1. As I mentioned to you before, substitute X with your port number. You can use 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 9, is up to you. So let's give example that we're gonna let's use example that this is going to be on port 1. So IP DHCP excluded address 192.168.10.1 and then up to 10.29. Usually the first 30 IP address or the first 100 address, you're gonna use the static IP. You're gonna reserve the IP address for static for some routers or Cisco, some routers or switches, or maybe for the server. That's why we exclude that. So the command is IP DHCP pool 10, which is a data VLAN network 192.168.10.10 space 255.255.255.0, and the DNS server 192.168.10.101. For this exercise, I'm not gonna set up a DNS server yet because I just wanna make sure it works fine, and then afterward, once you completed the basic configuration, then I'm going to show you how to set up a DNS server using a simple DNS. The default router is 192.168.10.1, and the domain name is portx.wickets. So if you are in port 1, you're gonna use domain name port1.wickets and then exits. Okay. Alright, so this is how you set up a DHCP server through router, so that the cell phone or any devices that you want to have in the data VLAN gonna get an IP address in this. Okay, well, in my case, I put a static IP address on the server here. Okay, but on the DHCP for voice VLAN, if we set up this voice VLAN, this phone, which is Cisco IP phone, will receive an address from here. Okay, the command is the same of that, except look at this. The network is going to be 192.168.11.0. Remember, .11 is your voice VLAN. 10, which is X0 or 10 is your data VLAN. So you have 10 for data VLAN and 11 for voice VLAN. Okay, so you're gonna exclude this. There is a little bit of typo. There's supposed to be 192.168.x1.1 and 192.168.x1.29. So this can be 11.29 or 11.1. As I mentioned to you before, the first 30 IP address, usually we're gonna reserve it for a server, router, or switches, or maybe the first 100 IP address. And then after that, you're gonna do show IP binding, and then it will show you, you will see something like that, all the equipment that have a bind to the DHCP and copy, run, start, remember. Alright, so all of this thing is how you set up DHCP. Basically, this tutorial show you how to set up routing protocol, OSPF, and DHCP server. Remember, all of this command is based on the Cisco, okay? But if you're using Juniper network, the concept is almost the same.